Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now the beginning of February of 2022, and as we get just closer and closer to the release of the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 7, which by the way counts as the season finale, a lot of Star Wars fans are very curious about what's really happening behind the scenes with the Book of Boba Fett Season 2. As you all know, Disney and Lucasfilm are in negotiations of greenlighting that actual new season, depending on the fan reception of the season finale this year, of course. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So it's even all the more exciting now is that not only are we getting closer to the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, but we are going to be getting the marketing run of that show with the full-length trailer debuting by mid to late March. And there's a lot of, people getting very excited for that series for numerous reasons. The return of Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader, the return of Ewan McGregor, and giving us the Inquisitors. I mean, all these crazy things that are about to happen for the fandom. Now, we all witnessed what happened with the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 6. Dave Filoni handled things very well with the addition of Luke Skywalker and Grogu training together, as well as bringing back Ahsoka Tano, Din Djarin, the N1 Naboo starfighter. I mean, there's all a series of great things in Chapter 6, and I think that it really does go ahead and signal to the fans that if they really want to, they can do amazing and great things that touch the fans' hearts. And that just goes to show you that Disney CEO Bob Chapek is superior to Bob Iger, because let's face it, Chapek is the one that really wants Favreau and Filoni to succeed. Now, on top of all of this, alright, what's really intriguing is exactly what John and Dave have planned for The Mandalorian Season 4 and how it involves the character of Luke Skywalker and another fan-favorite character. So, with the Ahsoka Tano series getting ready to begin filming in both, of course, by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, currently they are also getting ready to announce new Star Wars TV shows such as Star Wars Underworld at Star Wars Celebration that will also be done by George Lucas. However, it's known that behind the scenes at Lucasfilm, both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are planning something big for The Mandalorian Season 4, which is set to take place in 2024. One of the significant plans that are now set in stone has to do with a scene that involves an older Ben Solo that's around his teenage years, that is going to begin his training with his uncle in the series for a very detailed sequence. Now, this scene that is planned by both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni is set to take place at the same exact Jedi Temple that was seen in The Last Jedi. However, it is said to appear differently for the series at this point in time, as it's still going to be under construction. Now, I don't know if you guys missed this of what we talked about a couple of days ago, but Lucasfilm is going to be giving Luke Skywalker 3 different Jedi temples and/or schools in the mandoverse. And it's pretty safe to say that the one that we saw in the Book of Boba is a completely different temple. If you guys look at the background of that temple and the one in The Last Jedi, the Last Jedi one has a mountain, this one does not. And it really makes you wonder exactly, which temple is which, right? We're not quite sure still what planet the temple takes place on in the Book of Boba Fett. It's very possible to be Deveron. It could very well be that. There's a very great possibility. But one thing is for certain is that John and Dave are going to be bringing things back to the roots of Legends by including one of his temples to take place on Yavin 4, so keep your eyes open for that as well. So, on top of that, the addition of a young Ben Solo in the Star Wars universe is described to be Favreau's way to connect the Mandoverse to one of the sequel trilogy characters, as Favreau believes that Ben Solo has, of course, so much potential in the Star Wars world. Favreau is said to be aware that the fans would prefer to have Jason Solo instead of Ben, but given that the sequel trilogy fully exists, they had to create workarounds in the Mandoverse. The scene is already storyboarded and finalized for the script of Mandalorian Season 4 that will even feature a sparring session between Luke and Ben Solo and a lightsaber training session that is set to take place at nighttime. The scenery is described to have tiki-like torches lit all around Ben and Luke in a circular fashion, as Luke trains Ben Solo through the ways of the Force using the lightsaber. However, at this point, Ben Solo is described to be using a spare saber that Luke owns, and that it now, of course, is going to be Ben's at one point in time, and will be able to craft a saber later on in the series. Now, this scene is planned to actually later evolve to a moment in which Ben's lightsaber will be developed on screen with floating saber parts in mid-air, as well as how Ben Solo's kyber crystal comes into the story that will be explained in Mandalorian Season 4. So once again, they're kind of taking a little, bits and pieces from the Star Wars comics, the rise of Kylo Ren, or other Star Wars comics out there that lightly tapped into Kylo Ren's past / Ben Solo's past. It's a very interesting, storyline. I do suggest that you guys go ahead and check out the rise of Kylo Ren, because it shows you everything that has to do with Ben Solo's childhood, the Knights of Ren, Snoke. If you guys are interested in that stuff, it kind of gives you that backstory. Now, on top of this, the scene is planned to later evolve to a moment in which Ben's lightsaber will be completely constructed on screen. Now, it's described to be, of course, Luke and Ben's big moment in The Mandalorian Season 4, and on the same level as when Luke and Grogu trained in Book of Boba. So far, Lucasfilm has 3 choices to pick from as to who will play teen Ben Solo in the series, and that they will be deciding on that by, of course, early 2023, right around when they begin filming for The Mandalorian Season 4. Now, the scene is set to also feature Solo having a detailed line of dialogue with Luke about feeling a dark presence nearby. It's unclear as to who or what this dark presence is going to be in Mando, but there will be a new villain that is actually Force sensitive to be used in the 4th season. Fans will also get a detailed scene of both Luke and Ben meditating inside of Luke's Jedi Temple, where Lucasfilm is looking for talented composers as well to handle the score of the 4th season, and especially this moment between both Luke and Ben. Now, like I say, I think the fact that we have John and Dave handling this, we pretty much can count on them. We already know that what they're about to do with Mandalorian Season 3 and 4 is that it's basically not just going to focus on Din Djarin anymore. It's going to focus on all of these different characters. We're talking about Luke, Ben Solo, Mara Jade, Kyle Katarn, Ahsoka Tano, Sabine Wren. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I know that some fans are going to be a little defensive over that, thinking, well, the story should just be about Din Djarin, hence why it's called The Mandalorian, and it's still going to be. But it's going to be more around the lines of Din Djarin running into these characters again and again, and crossing paths with them, and why he actually has to actually cross paths with those characters. Kind of similar to how Din Djarin had to go over to, this world that belongs to Luke's new Jedi school, and how he crossed paths with Ahsoka and Luke. Technically Luke, he's right there. He sees him. So it's a very interesting way to go about doing things and really giving the fans all these characters joining together. And you can see how they're teasing things for the Ahsoka series, as we have discussed this before months ago, that Luke and Ahsoka are going to have extensive scenes in the Ahsoka Tano series, and you can see how it leaves it open at the very end of Chapter 6, where Luke says, "Will I see you again?" And Ahsoka says, "Perhaps," and she walks away. So that's pretty much the setup of what we've been talking about for numerous months now of the Ahsoka Tano series, of how it's going to involve multiple sequences of both Luke and Ahsoka teaming up to go up against Grand Admiral Thrawn. Keep your eyes open for that, because they really want to make Thrawn the Thanos of the Star Wars universe, essentially, the brand new villain. So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.